thank you for watching. My name's Amanda and welcome to my kitchen. I am going to start getting things prepped and ready for Easter. I am going to start, today is Friday, and I'm going to do some cooking on Saturday, and I'm going to be doing cooking on Sunday. And I'm going to show you my journey of how I am getting everything prepped and ready for Easter. Today I am going to be making strawberry ice cream, and I'm going to start making the cake. I'm going to get the cake done, and then I will ice it tomorrow and get it all done, and that way it can sit in the fridge and be ready for Sunday. That way I don't have to ice it the day of Easter and my son's birthday party. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on in and get ready. All right, so I have everything that I need for my strawberry ice cream, so let's go ahead and start making that. And again, I like putting everything in my blender and blending it up really nicely. That way it gives it a nice creamy flavor. The sugar is all incorporated into it. All right, so let's go ahead and go. This recipe, it calls for 2 cups of strawberries. I'm using frozen strawberries, so I am doing 4 cups because I know that if it was to set out for room temperature, it would probably equal out to about 2 cups. So we're going to dump that in. 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. 1 cup of milk, and I am just using 1% milk. Half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Really excited to be using the pure vanilla extract for this. Dash of salt. Need a cup of sugar. So now I'm going to put it on the blender, put the lid on, and go ahead and turn it on and let it blend all up. All right, so now it's all blended up. Go ahead and start pulling out my stuff for my ice cream attachment. So that way we can go ahead and start making the ice cream. It's been in the freezer for 24 hours, and a good way to tell that it is definitely good is when you shake it, you don't hear any liquid. I should have done the shake test yesterday for my vanilla ice cream, but my freezer is on the correct setting since we got our fridge fixed, so it definitely wasn't that. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get this set up. Go ahead and lock it in place. I'm going to get my little attachments that are the 2 little attachments that you need. Just set them in place. Okay, let me show you how that looks. They're all cleaned up and in place. See how that goes, just right in there like that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and pour my liquid in. All right, so just pouring my mixture in. All right, I'm going to lock it in place, and I'm going to start this one off at just stir, and I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes, and I'm going to check it at 10 minutes as well, and show you guys how it looks. We are at 10 minutes and 15 seconds, and it's looking really good. Okay, so the ice cream is still making, and while that's going, I'm going to go ahead and start getting stuff ready for the cake. And I'm going to go ahead and start cracking my eggs. And you know me, I saved my eggshells for my garden, so I got my bowl ready to put my eggshells in. So let's go ahead and start cracking eggs. And we need 8 eggs for this. Alright, I got my 8 eggs in there. I'm going to go wash my hands. We're at 20 minutes here. I'm going to give it another 5 minutes. 1.5 cups of sugar. And I'm not going to add the sugar into the egg mixture. I'm just going to set it in a glass bowl. That way I kind of got everything prepped and ready because I'm still using the KitchenAid to do the ice cream. So I'm just trying to use my time wisely. Alright, so we need 1.5 cups of sugar. Alright, so I need 1.5 cups of flour, and I am using gluten-free Measure for Measure flour by King Arthur. It is one of my favorites that I use for baking. It is really good, and I like also that there is no wheat ingredients in it at all. Some things are now starting to say gluten-free, but it has a wheat ingredient in it, so I have to be very careful. So we need 1.5 cups of flour. Hi. Hi. I got my little one in the kitchen right now with me. You want to come see what I'm doing? Hi. I know, you just want to help bake, huh? I need to get my scissors for this. Yep, I'm going to need my scissors to open that up. Let me get some. Alright, I got my scissors. I got my little one situated. He is hanging out with me still in the kitchen. Alright, so we need 1.5. And my timer did go off for my ice cream, but I am going to set it actually for another 5 minutes. Alright, so we need 1.5 cups of flour. And I'm just going to set it aside so I get all my stuff ready. Alright, so 1.5 cups setting aside. Can I close this up? Hi. Get all the air out. Oh, it stays nice and fresh. Okay, the ice cream is done. It's been in there for a good 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and get it in the container here, and then also get some little cups that we can try some out while it's a soft serve right now.
I really like this strawberry ice cream recipe because you can use it as a base and then add fun add-ins for different flavors or, treats to it. I love adding chocolate chips and cherry chunks to it in another recipe that I've done in another video. It is really tasty. I like wiping down the side of the container before I put my container top on, so that way it stays nice and sealed.
Ice cream's done. I'm going to go ahead and get it in the freezer, and I'm going to give it a little try. Nothing like having ice cream early in the morning. It is really tasty. I think the kids will be very happy with it. So let me go get them a cup. Do you guys want to try some?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start making the cake. I'm going to set the oven to 350 degrees. We're going to go ahead and whip the 8 eggs together until they get like a fluffy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lock it in place, and we're going to put it on high.
And we're going to run it for 4 minutes.
All right, the eggs are nice and foamy, fluffy, so that's what we wanted. I'm going to go ahead and slowly start adding the 1.5 cup of white sugar while still mixing on high.
I always think it's so neat when I would see Chantilly cakes out at the grocery stores and how pretty they looked, and always thought, I wondered what it would taste like. I'm gluten-free, so I can't eat those, but it's so awesome that there are wonderful gluten-free products out there that I am able to make an actual Chantilly cake. This is my second time making this cake, and I absolutely fell in love with it the first time that I made it. So making this again for Easter and my son's birthday is really neat.
Look how nice and fluffy those are. That was another 4 minutes doing the eggs with the sugar. All right, so now we are going to need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. All right, and we're going to go ahead and blend that. All right, so now that our mixture is all set for the eggs, sugar, and the vanilla extract, now I'm going to take my 1.5 cups of flour, gluten-free flour that I'm using. I'm going to take 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm going to take 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. Now I'm just going to mix these together. Now that I have all my dry ingredients mixed, I'm going to take my sifter and I'm going to start pouring my stuff in and sifting it, all the dry ingredients. I'm going to gently whisk it in, just very gently. You don't want to over mix it.
I gently whisked the flour into the wet ingredients until I did not see any flour chunks. It did take a while to do this, but I wanted to be thorough to make sure that there were no flour chunks throughout. As you can see, when I refold, a new part would pop up with the flour in it. I like that my mixing bowl is clear so I could look on the sides to see if there were any chunks of the flour that didn't get whipped in. So it's kind of nice. Gently mixing it and folding it in slowly until you did not see any more flour chunks in it.
I just want to make sure they get all that dry batter, well, the dry mixture really blended into it.
This part you definitely need a lot of patience for. It took a while to definitely make sure that there was no more dry flour in the wet batter. But it definitely, towards the end, I found a good technique pulling it up like this, and it helped a lot.
Now that our mixture is all set, I'm going to equally divide it up in between 2 springform pans. They are 10-inch, and I already sprayed them with some butter pan spray. So let's go ahead and do that. I have my batter divided into 2 springform pans. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes.
Is that my cake in there?
It is going to be your birthday cake, yes. So now it's going to bake. So we got like 20 minutes.
It's going to be like this bigger.
I think it's going to be that big. It's going to be tasty though. All right, I'm going to set my timer for 20 minutes. Okay, we'll check on it in a bit. The cake is finally done. It has been in for 20 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. Looks beautiful. Smells really good. All right, so I'm going to let these cool down, and I'm going to let them cool completely for like over the whole night, and then tomorrow I will cut them in half so that way I have 4 cake layers. All right, I'll show you what they look like.
I let the cakes completely cool down, and I left them in the springform pans and wrapped them to tops with saran wraps and put them in the fridge. I thought I would get the carrots prepped and ready for when I make the honey garlic glazed carrots. That way it's easier, it's done, it's out of the way. I washed the carrots, I peeled them, and then I started cutting them up in certain sizes that I thought would be best. And I decided to fill the entire container up with carrots. Once I got the carrots done, I got all the balloons blown up, and I made a really cool happy birthday banner going into the dining room from the living room. It looks really neat. I love the colors of the balloons that I picked out for it. My son and my daughter thought it was really neat. Of course, my son, he thought it was super cool because, you know, it's Easter and his birthday celebration on Easter Day with the family. So it's going to be really neat. He's super, super, super excited. I like saving the produce bags when I go to the grocery store that my produce comes home in, and I save it for when I do cooking and want to throw my trash away. It's right there in front of me or on the side. I don't have to go back and forth to the trash. It makes cleaning up time very easy. Thank you for watching, and I hope you watch part 2 of me getting stuff ready for Easter.